Weed.
Like to
talk about the reef.
Mary Jane.
Ganja.
medical
marijuana,
hemp,
Cushy kush.
and
with the whole world in general, beautiful things happen.
I already got enough questions to ask.
We'll provide you all the information that you need to know. We'll be like the encyclopedia.
People think cannabis is so crazy and we're still living those reefer madness days. And it's just absolutely crazy. So
that means the government thinks marijuana is more dangerous than Schedule II drugs like cocaine or meth.
The demonization of cannabis.
You know, we've been terribly and systematically misled.
We spend billions and billions of billions and billions of dollars every year on
pharmaceutical
medications.
About 650,000 pills are dispensed every single day. There's got to be a better solution: legalizing cannabis. This is the people demanding a better alternative. There have been 23,000 studies published on the cannabis plant, making it the most studied plant in human history, more than aspirin.
Pharmaceutical
medications
is simply all about money.
Weed in a weird legal limbo. Legal pot could be a huge public health win.
We live in the era of single molecule therapy, a pill for a thing. This is not how cannabis works in the body and the brain. A complex series of things and reactions and chemistry happens in the body and the brain. And that's how cannabis works. It's not addition, it's multiplication. When these things work together, you add complexity, and that's how nature works.
Saving huge numbers of lives.
Our own system
causes damage.
It's problematic at a multitude of levels.
88,000 deaths each year attributable to alcohol. It is a hell of a lot more dangerous than pot or even cocaine.
The lethal dose for cannabis, you need to smoke 40,000 joints in 15 minutes. You have to consume 10.2 million edibles to overdose in 15 minutes. Line them up one after the other, it goes all the way to California.
Being drunk increases the risk of a fatal accident 13-fold. Pot increases the risk less than 2-fold.
So let me just break it down a little bit.
Absolutely.
About 3,000 people died from heroin overdoses in 2010. You know how many people died directly from overdosing on marijuana? 0. And less alcohol means fewer deaths from intoxication, fewer drunk driving, fatalities, less crime, less violence.
The endocannabinoid system in the amygdala. Anxiety, fear, and the emotional content of fear.
Thousands of cannabinoids.
Medicinal purposes.
For 5,000 years.
Cannabis and cannabis-like substances.
Major medicine for mankind.
5,000 years ago, ancient China, ancient Egypt, cannabis used as medicine. In ancient India, ancient Rome, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson grew hemp. It was recognized as medicine in 1850 in the United States.
Major medicine for mankind.
rapidly gaining legitimacy.
As we research the plant, more reform is happening. At 93%, it should be available. This is almost everyone. I believe it's medicine. I believe it can help people.
What is it that makes it work so that we have a better understanding of
what benefit and what condition?
There's a great deal of medical research happening with cannabis.
People were using cannabis for 3 primary reasons: to help sleep, to reduce pain, and to alleviate anxiety. Things that so many of us seek treatment for.
100 million Americans deal with chronic pain.
People with back pain find that they can get through the night with a good sleep, undisturbed by pain. You treat effectively with cannabis and cannabis-based medicines.
People don't die from it. They rarely kill others while on it.
There was a compound in the marijuana plant called
CBD.
Hemp.
Has actually been researched.
Be able to control
the seizures.
That doesn't even get people high.
CBD is remarkable.
It works most of the time.
Cannabis pulls higher than firefighters or nurses or our armed, brave armed service people. Even pulls higher than cats, white pants. At the bottom of the list, politicians, lawyers, and car salesmen.
Legal pot could be a huge public health win, saving huge numbers of lives.
There's a wonderful opportunity with this plant. A wave of reform sweeping this world right now. My former business partner's wife died from MRSA. She was a paramedic. Didn't have to be that way. It's been shown that cannabinoids, the properties in cannabis, can kill things like MRSA.
To allow a patient and a doctor to have a conversation. And if you, my doctor, says, Montel, use marijuana, everybody else can shut up and get out of my conversation.
My sister, Sasha, she has epilepsy with really violent seizures. And so she had to have surgery. Doctors prescribed her painkillers. She got hooked on those painkillers, addicted. And so she beat her addiction. Some people don't get past that, but she did, thankfully. She didn't have anything to deal with her pain. Nothing worked until she found something that changed her life. Medical marijuana, associated with things like pain relief and anti-seizure and anti-inflammation and a host of other wonder properties in this plant. She's pain-free, doesn't have seizures anymore.
And then finally, when Paige did call me, Charlotte has not had one single seizure for an entire week. Not one. It's like a miracle.
Kung lang trying
to repair and heal the world.
More Americans live today in a state with medical or legal cannabis than illegal cannabis, the proverbial tipping point.
It helps. It enhances everything with imagination and life and art and creation.
Manifest love, peace, and happiness and harmony.
Legalizing marijuana is a great idea. The federal government, what are they smoking?